What I'd say is that, we were the only firm, as you rightfully point out, dropping from the tier 3 to the tier 2 bucket, which really was a reduction in score from around 363 down to 295. So really quite a dramatic reduction. What was interesting is in each of the 12 categories that comprise the GSIB score, we had moved lower in each of those. And that largely what the score reflects is the actions that we've undertaken over the last 2 to 3 years in restructuring the bank. So being smaller, having more stable revenues, focused on the core client-centric businesses, holding a lot more capital naturally, and reducing risk-weighted assets through that period, which is all reflected in the GSIB score. What that does do is allow us a lower leverage ratio from the beginning of 2022 onwards, which becomes binding at that point. From a capital perspective, mechanically, yes, it does result in a lower capital requirement, except that we're also subject to a higher domestic score, the DSIB score in Germany, which is still currently at 2%, at really the highest end of what's permissible across Europe.
So given that you are also regulated in Germany to a different standard to some extent, does this actually matter? Does it make a difference to your day-to-day operations, this move?
Well, I think the score, we don't target the score specifically, but what we would undertake is continued transformation of our activities. So to the extent that we would have lower derivatives notionals that we would be managing to, that's something that we have been doing and we'd continue doing through the period. Looking at our legal entity structure and managing down our intercompany exposures through the period, looking at our payment systems, continuing to make the investments in technology, and more importantly, with the transformation that we've announced in July, continue to reduce leverage and risk-weighted asset exposure.
One of the challenges Deutsche has faced over the last several years has been the relationship with regulators. Do you think those are now on a better footing than they have been in the recent past?
We've made substantial investments in our control infrastructure, in our technology, in our data, in our processes, and our controls. And some of this has been reflected in, for example, our CCAR score and pass in the United States, where we've passed both quantitatively and qualitatively. And so certainly it's not something that we will be taking our foot off the accelerator, but it's good to see some of the investments now beginning to pay off.
Hi, I'm Joanna Bersecci, and thank you for watching. You can check out more of our videos by clicking on the boxes on the screen. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more from CNBC International. Thank you for watching.